after that short break, and it looks like all games from round 4 had ended. So let's go ahead and give an update on the players that won. Okay, Jer has returned as well. So winners from round 4 are Greg Shaw, Brad Reinhold, Mike Kessling, Logan Patigue, Brian Fred, Charlie Arlandson, Jeff Levine, Matt Wadden, Kyle Kruger, Justin Miyashiro, Eric Nelson, Casey, Ming, Brandon Nguyen, Jack Harrison Schultz, and Stuart Yu. So out of the 16 tables, only 3 dark side players won that.
So we have.
I mean, that's pretty crazy to me.
Side went out? Yeah.
Yeah, light side won the majority of those.
Payback for round 1.
Yeah. Looking at the list of tables. So, I mean, Greg Shaw versus Logan, Brian Fred versus Brad Reinhold, Mike Kessling versus Jeff Levine, Charlie Arlandson versus Matt Wadden. Those all, like, I think we're going to go with the Charlie versus Matt because they haven't been on yet. Actually, no, Mike and Kessling, Jeff haven't been on it.
No, I think we should do that one. We haven't seen Mike or Jeff yet.
Yeah. So I think we switched. Like Garrett was going to give us Charlie and Matt, so we'll take table 3. That is Mike versus Jeff. Jeff is coming off of his win at the Indoor Grand Prix. Mike is a lot of people are saying that he's the best player who hasn't won a major yet. So, I mean, people say that about Charlie too. Okay, let's get back into our game. And it looks like we are going to go with Matt versus Charlie.
Okay.
Ready versus Charlie. Jeremy, do we know if Charlie is playing Grimtosh or Monarch in his deck?
I doubt it.
Okay, so we won't see a table flip, but we will see the same match that we just saw. Now, are people interested in seeing this one?
Well, it looks like it's going to be Mike and Jeff anyway. Garrett's already got him at the table, so.
Okay, so no idea versus ROPS.
It's too late to get another game on here? Just in interest of not having the same matchup shown twice in a row.
Yeah, Jared's saying that everybody's set up, so. Yeah, I do agree. Like, I think knowing the decks beforehand would be a good thing. On a side note, it looks like my box is here.
Maybe after this game, you could do a stream open.
My box is here. Yes, it's going to be Charlie versus Matt Wadden. I was trying to talk to. But yeah, maybe we'll see a more conventional. Oh, you got it, Jeremy? I'll let you handle it. Because I got to find some scissors and open this on stream. Fortunately, it's not a official PC box, but I'm assuming that Jared has none of those left. Otherwise, I would have gotten one.
Okay, so we see Ozzel, and I assume that's Piet behind Ozzel. And he's going to play
Let me fix this first.
Death Squadron assignments. And he's going to grab the Vengeance.
It's not a bad grab.
So I imagine Charlie is probably playing the same 60 as Greg. But Greg did get off to a pretty fast start against Joe.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy, if you could fix the names, that would be great. I don't know why it's not working for me.
Yeah, let me jump in there.
Okay. While you're doing that, okay, so, oh my gosh. Holy crap, Jared. One. This is a lot of bubble paper.
It's just bubble wrap. That's all I say.
It's just bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap. Just to get your hopes up. So you think you're getting the Schnorr bus, but no, it's just Jared just had a bunch of extra bubble wrap he wanted to get rid of and dump on you.
You know, I could see Jared pulling that with me.
I would pull it on you.
Let's go. You're you. Now, this is something I haven't had.
Okay, so Piet and Desan go to what I assume is the Executor docking bay over there in the clear zone.
Yeah, Piet and Desan, and got my team mug from Worlds last year. It looks like we have 5 players who are currently undefeated. So we have 4 players who are 4-0. Let's see who those 4 players are. After 4 games, Greg Shaw, Brad Reinhold, Mike Kessling, Brian Fred, Logan Patigue are our undefeated players. Charlie and Matt are currently our highest 3-1s, followed by Kyle Kruger, Jeff Levine, Justin Miyashiro, Cal Aldred, Joe Olson, Matt Scott, Corey Lauer, AJ Hatum, Ming, Eric, Dan Dentlaw, Casey, Brendan Dwin are all 2-2. And then Carl, Kendall, Steven, Matt Lutz, Tang Lee, Adam Shelberg, Mark Walseth, Max Freeman, Stuart Yu, Jack Erickson, Schultz, Ben Harold are all 1-3, and then rounding out are Julian and William at 0-4. So yeah, I'm really glad this is One Piece. These things are amazing. And to kick the crap out of Batmouse to win it, it makes it even more special. And so much good stuff. Looting. A lot of paper. I got AC in my apartment. I got more poker chips. I got these are cool. PC golf balls. I don't know how many people can see these. It's the PC logo on the golf ball. They're Nitro ones. Got 3 of them. And then Jared sent me over some foils. So thank you, Jared. Foils. Got Mithril. Yeah. Definitely a different plan from last game between Greg and Joe and these two guys. Oh, that's cool. Little hyper route navigation chart, foily one. Okay, so it looks like we got the Grand Inquisitor, Piet, and Dasan over at Rowletier. And it looks like we also got a fan. Looks like we have a fan of Matt Wadden in the chat. So that's good to see. I think this commuting. Grand Inquisitor.
It looks like Charlie is setting up at Ralts here. I can't tell. These guys are okay. Yeah, they're in space.
That's Matt setting up in space. Charlie's got the ground.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I think we lost Jedi Jer.
Yeah, my camera's not working for some reason.
So we got a laser resistance transport, and I can't see what's on those right now. It looks like also the Bright Hope, Ray, the Tanib, and Luke up there. So that's a pretty formidable stack of ships up there. Yeah, your camera's not coming through, like even for me.
Sure, what's going on?
Okay, and Jedi Jerry will come back as well. Okay, now we see you.
Me now?
Yep, got you now.
Okay, good.
So Matt also has a sand effect down. He's got a light side character on there, and he got Sabotage V on there as well.
The setup you want against ROPS, right? Tantive at their system, Sand Effect out.
Right, Ho, Ray, and Luke. It's a pretty good fleet up there.
But he may leave himself open to Charlie just going to the two systems, going to Scarif and Aridu,
Mm-hmm.
setting up 2 drains of 2 there.
Okay, it looks like Melshi went down to the vault.
Yep, they grabbed,
Nice.
what's this guy's name?
Orpal Pow.
Purple
Yeah.
Pow.
And it looks like Galen Ursa, but I don't think it is.
I think you're right. No, I think that is Galen or so.
A card that we haven't seen a lot of. I mean, I know there's no AI of it yet, but
Yeah, he's like always the 63rd, 64th card for no idea.
mm-hmm.
If he was a pilot, I think he would be much
Yeah,
better.
I think you're right.
Also, his text about canceling an effect is like not amazing these days because it's not going to get CCT.
I mean, you can cancel the Tarkin's bounty right there.
It's true.
I mean, if you cancel the Tarkin's bounty, put it back into the deck, it's the pool card is not once per game.
But you wouldn't want to do that, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, that's when you play, what is it, the Dark Side Lando Calrissian? Play that, use it to put back your Tarkin's bounty, get it back again, do it again. I mean, that seems kind of fun to me, at least. Yeah, that's another good one. The Dark Side Lando with Kessel Run. I mean, we don't see a lot of that Dark Side Lando, though, yet. Okay, Charlie looking through his deck for sight. He does find one. So it looks like he's going to have all 4 of his Raltier sights on the table. So, and let's see. He didn't drain or anything.
I think Charlie's going to try to flip here and take the beach and then set up in space after that.
I was going to say, how do you you can't flip unless you...
Yeah, he'll probably put a ship in front of them.
Yeah.
Well, he does walk into barrier that way.
That's the biggest problem is like if you put down the ship there and it gets barriered, you have to reinforce, and there goes your entire strategy. I don't like the idea of trying to force the flip here. Okay, there's Imp Domination out, and I can't see what the other red card is. Oh, it's a sand card. So both players have their sand card out.
All right, so he is gonna. Looks like he is gonna try to flip.
Okay,
So
let's
Matt
see
has
what he's
the
going to do
barrier.
here. There's a... It looks like a non-virtual Vader shuttle.
Oh yeah, far superior in ROPS to the other one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it doesn't look like he's got the barrier or anything.
It's good news for Charlie.
Vengeance coming down with an Ozzel. 2 foil cards. Okay, it looks like Jedi Jer is back.
Yeah.
So just saw Charlie set up a lot of guys up in space. He's got the Vader shuttle down. So if he wants to attempt to flip, he can this turn. But it doesn't look like he's got a lot of force saved, though. That's the biggest issue. Okay, well, maybe he does. There's a Blizzard Scout Walker. And there's the flip from Charlie. And, okay. I was going to say, I didn't see a lot of red cards in Charlie's hand, though. So, I mean, I did see 2 in there, though. Okay, Charlie passes turn. So, Matt is going to be able to do 3 points of damage this turn. So, let's see what he's going to have to work with. And you got to feel like, if you're Matt, that Admiral Piet is some sort of bait there. Like, you got to feel like Charlie has, like, a barrier or something.
It's just 2 damage, right?
Sorry?
Drain. It's just 2 damage, right? Drain at the system and Stardust?
Drain at the site. Oh, you're right. No. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's flipped. So, yeah, you're right. 2 damage. There's a Blizzard 8. Okay, Matt does retrieve one with Luke, though. And Blue 11 coming down. So, oh, that flips Charlie back. See who Matt grabs here. Looks like he grabs Saw Gerrera. And a projection of Skywalker. Okay, projection one of the Ralatier sites. I mean, Charlie's threatening 4 points of damage this turn. And it looks like Matt is playing the Combined Fleet Action Admiral's Order. So, I mean, that's not a terrible one to play in this deck.
It won't be at its best in this matchup. I mean, it stops what? Tarkin?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? I guess it stops Close Call as well.
I don't think it does. Does it?
Protects with the -3, right?
Huh?
Protects with the -3, right?
I don't think it. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, it just says your opponent may not draw more than 1 Battle Destiny.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it protects against Tarkin. It protects against, I think it's sneak attack. Or no, sneak attack says. Oh yeah, you could add a Battle Destiny if you have an ATST, Scout, or Lone Imperial of ability less than 4. So. So let's see what Matt wants to do here. I think the fact that he flipped was really good.
So Charlie does have another ship to flip again.
Well, then he would have to move over in front of the.
Oh, that's a good answer to that stack over there.
Yeah.
So Charlie flips again. He's probably just going to move the shuttle to Aridu. Set up that drain of 2. He also has the react from the Blizzard Scout available to him.
Yeah, it looks like Charlie's in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, this is what I was saying when Matt went kind of all in on Ralter, because now you just let ROPS spread all over the place. Although if Matt had a barrier, it'd be a really different story.
That is a good point. I'm a little surprised that Matt did what he did without the protection of the barrier. Now, he does have the Hojix in his hand, so he won't necessarily lose the game, but he's still in a kind of a bad situation.
Yeah, because the guys on Scarif aren't doing anything.
No. I mean, at least up against the Emperor's Shuttle, you're only getting... both sides are only going to get one Destiny.
Well, I don't think Charlie's battling. I think he's just going to move it.
Okay. But I mean, I was going to say, like, Charlie would be getting what, +4 to his total? I mean, that's really good.
Yeah, but at this point, I don't think Charlie's interested in fighting battles. He just wants to have port control and stay flipped.
Well, but now he's not going to be able to stay flipped, because all you have to do if you're Matt is pile both those guys in the blue 11 and run away.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't cover this fourth site. Something. I guess he figures he can always go back. Use the flip again. Because right now, yeah, you get at least you get all the benefits for a turn.
Yeah.
For Matt's turn.
Yeah, because you're reducing the drain at the data core to 0, but you're still losing 1 to the drain at Raltier and 1 to the Stardust ping.
Yeah, and I think Charlie is consigned to lose those 2 force the whole game.
Yeah, Imp Domination is in effect, so if he wants to fight, he can get stuff back, and then he can do the swap. So he's got answers.
There goes Isor at the top. Just pretty good in this matchup.
Yeah. I mean, as Greg pointed out, like, I like the idea, or no, as Bill pointed out in Greg's deck, I like the idea of General Jadonda to protect the 2-0. That's a really good card.
Yeah.
I mean, because they can't use Ellis to get in there, because you have the Insurrection. And I don't think Darkseid doesn't have a card like Jar Jar Binks that gets around the whole. He's a pseudo spy essentially.
Probot, right? Does Probot do that, or am I thinking of something else?
I think you're thinking of something else because like Jar Jar said, he just deploys to any location. I believe. But okay, yeah, Shadow Collective can warp over there. That's that's a good lie. Thank you, Jared. Yeah, Jar Jar just says he may deploy to any site even without presence or force icons. Yeah, you just
Okay, so it looks like Matt played somebody to the beach. Then he moved Blue 11 over to flip Charlie again, and then everyone's going to go to the beach. I don't know. I think it's Charlie. You're okay with this because now you're getting in what 4, 5, 6, 7 damage
Yeah.
this turn. So Matt has to respond by moving his ships.
Yep, that's what he does. He moves over the Tantive and the Bright Hope. He's leaving the Leia's resistance transport though.
Yeah, I think you probably figure that these are all the ships that Charlie is playing in ROPS. But Charlie can just lift off Vader's shuttle now.
True, but I mean that also then Matt can do whatever he needs to. So I think you said it best. Like this is a matchup that players are just going to be playing in the move phase. We're not going to see a lot of battling. It's going to be a super grindy match.
Yeah, so Charlie could just go to this, block that one site, play some more guys to route here, take off, and it just flips again.
I don't know. Now, if Saw is there, Saw does get around the -1 from the Raltier. So even if Charlie would be flipped, that prevents that from being decreased.
Sure. Charlie activating all but 3 here. So looks like he might have some designs on battling.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think you can fight at Iriadu. Because, I mean, with the Bright Hope there.
And Sand, yeah.
And Sand, yeah. And, I mean, I don't think you really want to go in front of Baze. Unless you have somebody like a Vader with Saber or a Mara with Saber. Okay, so he activates everything but 1. Yep. That's a card that doesn't matter in this matchup. And a second Sand effect. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Matt Wadden is playing Grimtosh. I never thought I would see the day.
Bold.
I
Where
mean,
was he when he flipped the table?
It was Continentals.
Gosh.
Okay, so
Arc
Erica, that's a good card in this matchup.
Yeah, but I don't see. Is Luke on the table? Is he in space?
Yeah, he's in space.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, there's the General Veers.
We'll see if he has the AT-AT.
No, that's a lot of red in his hand. I can't tell. I couldn't tell what the last card is though.
The trample, maybe?
Maybe.
Alright, so he's going back to Ralter with Emperor Shuttle. Ninth Sister moves over. He flips.
Yep.
Grand Inquisitor joins his sister. And he's taking off Vader's shuttle, okay?
Yep. And he activates that last card.
Yeah,
And he just draws. So, okay, now he's got a trample in his hand.
I don't know what that last card is. It has Brian Fred art all over it.
The card was Brian Fred Eyes. It looks like it's Walker Garrison to me, but there's no way.
I agree with you that it looks like Walker Garrison, but it can't be that card.
Okay. So Matt again he's gonna drain at Adriadu, and then he'll drain for 1 at the beach unless Saw Gerrera's over there.
Yeah. See how much he loses to this terrain.
Yep, that is Saw.
Yep. Okay, so that's a drain too. Looks like Charlie might have been a little surprised by that.
Yeah. And a second copy of Imperial Domination hits the Lost. And still got to lose one.
Have we seen a battle this game?
No.
Yep.
I forget who said it, but you don't win Star Wars CCG games by battling.
It's a new Allies philosophy.
Cowards. A lot of you. Okay, he loses an Imperial command. Matt's still going to be able to do 2 more points of damage this turn. And Gick goes to the Lost. And there goes 2 to the drain at Iriadu. Prix is with Luke. Oh, there's an imbalance combo. So Matt goes to play to use Ray to draw the bottom card, and Charlie interrupts it with the imbalance combo. So he has to lose one. He loses an Antilles maneuver off the top of his deck. So losing that 5 could be bad. As it looks like there's Melshi there. A little bit of surprise. No games have for this round have ended yet. And Matt flies back. Yep, Matt just moves his characters around a little bit.
Yep. It's about expected for this matchup, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jedi Jer, let's go ahead and let you have say what the token is.
I don't know. What are my options?
Any card you want.
Any card. Boba.
Okay, so the token for this one, the token for this one is Light Side Boba Fett. Just Boba. Garrett said there was a few kids walking around and they were interested in just watching. And And we'll also do another trivia question and give out another GIMP AI pack here momentarily. I don't want to break up the action too much.
Luke going the last pile. Oh, it must be the second one, right?
Yeah, he's got one on the 10 of. And Melshi going to the lost pile. Free ride and the combined fleet action. Okay.
Prix one with Arca.
Oh, here we go. We might actually have a battle. Looks like the Endor Commando team. Yep, Endor Commando team with the Blizzard 4.
Somebody's getting trampled.
Yep. Draws a 5, and there goes Baze. Now, you can't shoot with Baze there, can you?
I think it's when you forfeit him.
No, it's if about to be lost, you may fire it.
Oh, interesting.
That last card, dude, we couldn't figure out was the other trample.
Oh, with the
second
Brian
trample.
Fred stuff on it?
Yeah. I just played it again. Or I saw it come down, yeah.
So Charlie draws a 6, which is a 10?
Wow, that's gonna. So the Endor Commando team, it goes to loss. Yeah, but Araka is there underneath the character. And all Charlie has to lose is the Blizzard 4 that he'll retrieve possibly on his next turn.
Yeah, Mara's outside.
Okay, he's going to attempt to, yeah. Oh, that's right. Imperial Domination is in fact, so he can retrieve an Imperial.
Yep.
And I don't think he swapped there, did he?
I don't think so. So they must be rewinding to that. Okay, so maybe Charlie just didn't want to swap.
And Charlie runs away.
I don't know what that card was.
Matt could have taken a shot at Arca, but he didn't.
First game of round 5 is finished. Brian Fred over Brad Reinhold.
Oh, so Brad not undefeated anymore, but Brian still is.
Yeah, that makes me sad. I mean, I've got Brad, Jeff Levine, and Mike Kessling on my team.
Well, I think they all have pretty good shots at making it to day 2.
I went with the Batmouse route, you know? Just pick 3 players that are going to make the top 8, win the fantasy contest. We're on to Matt's turn. Again, he's going to drain for 2. Oh, we're still in a battle? Oh, Jin versus Erica. Okay. Chris Kelly, how do you feel about that white border Jin Urso? Okay. And Ray shuttling down will flip Charlie back.
I will say Charlie's been managing the flip pretty
Yeah.
pretty well this game.
And we do see some drains. Oof. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Force go to loss for Matt. And there is Yasan Isard going down to the Yavin 4 War Room.
Yeah, I think that's, to me, that's one of the problems with the play pattern of ROPS is that, like, being flipped on your own turn, it doesn't really matter that much. Right? It would only matter if you wanted to battle and clear somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these games just turn into these grind fest of people just moving cards around.
If you are watching, Chris Kelly will basically sell you his soul for a white bordered Japanese Imperial Barrier. Okay, so Ray fights the Seventh Sister.
Probably just really had it all this turn here.
Yeah. And that's going to flip Charlie back. And he's thinking about, I don't know, like if you're Charlie, I think you still want to run away. Okay, yep. Runs back over to Ralatier. I think instead of making the why does everybody want to go to Jakku card, I think it should be why does everybody want to return to Ralatier? So Greg Shaw is victorious, and Jeff Levine also is victorious.
Greg undefeated? Yeah.
Is who?
Is Greg undefeated?
Yes. So the undefeateds were Greg Shaw, Logan Patigue, Brian Fred, Brad Reinhold, Mike Kessling were the 5 undefeated going into this round.
Kessling lost
Yes.
to Levine. And Logan lost. And Brad lost. So.
Mm-hmm. So Greg and Brian Fred are the only 2 undefeated.
I think both of them have something in common, right?
They're both nice guys.
I don't know about that. Well, Brian Fred's a nice guy.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's a good point, Chris. They both just played Dark Side, so they can't play each other.
Come on, Chris, you're part of the team.
They could end up playing each other game 7.
True. And you got to think that they'll just concede. Like, if they can get to game 7 and 8 and playing each other, double scoop, go to 7-1, go to dinner. Yep, just like Chris is saying in the chat.
It's like a Magic tournament, right?
Yeah.
You go to dinner.
Okay, Matt Scott is victorious as well, and Kendall Holman has won again. So his light side is currently 2-1. Julian Berg wins over William. Yeah, that's assigned allegations. And I think Matt Wadden has a signed Sandcrawler too. A good idea. I should do that with mine. And Arica comes down and hits the Yavin 4 War Room as well. So, now, the only problem with that, though, is he can't retrieve.
Yeah, but at this point, I think you're just trying to push as much damage through as possible.
And looks like we have another fight here, possibly in space.
That's the only place it can be.
And we have a Honshu and the Falcon going down in front of the Vengeance. And you can't see who's on the Honshu and the Falcon. So now Charlie's still going to be doing 5 points of damage though, with that Arica at the War Room. And Kyle Kruger defeats Justin Miyashiro.
Yeah, I don't really see a route to victory for Matt this game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we did have a fight up there in space, it looked like. Charlie wins the fight. But he has to lose the Vengeance as well. That flips. Interesting to see that's the first time that Matt has flipped over to his 7 side all game.
Well, it doesn't really offer you much in this matchup, right? You don't care about
True.
Weapons, moving doesn't really matter. You'd rather just deploy ships from your deck.
Okay, so Cal Aldred wins And Stephen Folder wins as well. Yeah, both players don't have a lot of cards left in their life force. I mean, looking at the board state, though. Okay, fifth brother comes down. And he docking bay transits over to the Hoth docking bay. Yeah, I think once after this turn, I think Charlie's going to be able to drain out Matt.
Yeah, Matt's only got 5.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's a pretty good card in this matchup. That Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith. Okay, so he loses 2 to the drain at the beach, 1 to the drain up in Scarif, and then 0 up in Scarif, but 1 to Stardust. So Charlie loses 3 cards there. And we do have a fight up in space. Matt loses the transport, and Charlie loses the Emperor. I think Charlie's doing 6 points of damage. He's got the drain at the war room for 2. He's got the drain at the docking bay for 1, and then he's got drains of 1, 1, and 1 on Relatier.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna take Matt out because I think he has 4 the life force. Or
Well, he
does
retrieved.
still have 5?
I was gonna say he retrieved 1 with Luke, so
Yeah.
that should bring him up to 6.
Plus 1 in hand. So I mean
7. Yeah, he can't do it.
But even if he drains him down to 1, it's like, what's the like? There's nothing.
Well, I mean, Matt's
Nothing
gonna
Matt can
do 4 points of damage to Charlie. Okay, Charlie's fighting up in space. Interesting. Okay. Yep, and he retrieves an Imperial. So that's going to put Charlie
He's at
out
6.
of the danger zone. Yeah. Okay. Update on some other matches. Casey defeats Dan Dentlaw. AJ Hatum defeats Ming. And Mark Walseth over Tang Lee. Adam Shelberg over Max Freeman. Right now, we're still waiting on 2 other matches. Corey Lauer versus Joe Olson. Carl Koenig versus Matt Lutz. And we have a handshake, and it looks like Charlie is victorious.
Yeah, just a masterful play game, I would say, for Charlie.
Indeed.
Just really being able to manage flipping back and really making the most out of it.
I was gonna say, how many times did Charlie flip that game?
Like 4 times, 5 times, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we got time for one trivia question before we take a quick break in between round 5 and 6. So, Jeremy, do you have one? Or Jedi Jared, do either of you have a trivia question?
Should have been thinking of one, but no.
Okay. The token. Okay. What decks won the Endor Grand Prix?
Like, what were Jeff Levine's decks?
Yeah. So that's your trivia question. So okay, so technically Joker King said Communing and Agents of Black Sun, which is kind of correct. Mike Turner was more correct.
Yeah, so give it to Mike.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Joker King. Okay, so Mike Turner, you are the winner. I mean, Joker King, you did win one already, so you're kind of good. But let's see, where are we at? Yep, we got 2 more games going on right now. So we'll take a short break in between as we wait for these last 2 games to get finished up, and then we'll be back with round number 6. So 3 rounds left to go until we see what happens, until we figure out who our top 8 is. So everybody take a quick break, and we'll see you guys in a few.